Hey, Mama. It's me. Today, I wanted to kind of tell you why I started this, why now, why I couldn't keep these conversations in my head anymore. Um, Something happened recently that stirred everything back up. Um, I had been praying about a situation for days and it kind of didn't turn out, you know, the way I thought it would. And one of those moments that, kind of remind me, it reminds you of how fragile life really is, how quickly things can change, and how unfair it really feels sometimes. So it brought me right back to you, back to the hospital, back to the waiting, back to the feeling that something wasn't right, but it just felt like no one, no one was listening. Like nobody really cared. Um, So there are days that I'm okay, and then there are days when grief shows up unannounced, like it never left at all, because I'm trying to wrap my head around, when people were at the hospital, I said, you know what, I just stood in faith and I said, you know what, if you're not doing this faith walk with me, I didn't even want you in the room with my mom because I just believed God. That's the kind of crazy faith that I had. And I stood on that with everything in me. Um, uh, uh, and I said, Mom was faithful to ministry. She played the piano for years for the church and didn't want a dime for it. And she was such a faithful tither. And I just said, I kept thinking about the word. You said, I just kept thinking about it all. And I said, how did this happen to such a sweet person? You can never kind of make sense of it all. Uh, but I think I've just been carrying so much quietly, trying to be strong, trying to move forward, trying to make sense of things that, still don't make sense actually. Um, and I realized that I needed a place to put all of this. I needed a place, I needed a platform. And so I chose this place. Hey Mom, It's Me podcast, right? This is where I get to talk to you about things that I didn't get to say. This is where I get to be honest about my questions, about my frustration, and even about my faith, about the parts of me that are still healing. Oh, Mama, I don't have all the answers. I still wrestle with the why. That's real talk. Um, I still replay, moments in my mind, and I still wish, things had gone differently. And I still place blame. I still place blame on the hospital, actually. Um, hmm. But I do know this, um, talking to you, Mama, just helps me, helps me breathe again, right? It helps me breathe. It helps me breathe. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me centered. Um, so today, I'm choosing to keep going, Tanya, keep going. One day at a time, one conversation at a time. Thanks for listening, Mama. I love you, honey. I'll talk to you tomorrow.